Ethan, we'll start with you. Just kind of go through what you saw of yourself in the first 2 weeks during that self-scouting period, and just talk about your growth from last season into these first 2 games of this year.
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot. I think I'm making better decisions than I have in the past. I think that's part due to the comfortability that I have in the offense. We changed some things up. Feeling a lot more comfortable after we've reinstalled everything. So, when you're comfortable and confident, it makes you play way better.
As for the defensive guys, I know through the first 2 weeks of the season you haven't allowed an opponent to get up to 20 points. I know you guys are perfectionists, though. What are some things that you've seen that you need to work on here in the next game?
Nate?
Obviously, I feel like just staying physical throughout the whole game. Sometimes you might lack a couple plays here and there. We might take a play off. So just staying consistent with the being physical team, especially in the front line. So, yeah.
Javon?
Well, I would say just being consistent in our technique, play in and play out. Obviously, at me and Nate's position, you can't have mental lapses. You can't take plays off because those end up touchdowns and points on the board. So I feel like just harping on those, minor details, staying locked in at practice, and, translating that attention to detail to the field on Saturdays.
This one's for Ethan. When Coach was in here, you saying how you study like a pro and that you're always, looking at film. From what you've seen from Buffalo, what's kind of the big defensive threat that sticks out to you?
Yeah, they have a lot of good players on their defense. Their front seven is really good. They have a All-American safety who's obviously proven himself to be a great player. There's really, nothing on defense that you're like, wow, this guy's, a weak spot, right? They're a good team. Improved since we've played them, and improved since last year with the new staff. So it'll be a good test to see, our consistency as a team, to see how we go out there and attack them this weekend.
Coach had mentioned you guys haven't had a bye week, just for everyone, by the way, that you haven't had a bye week throughout your entire time here at NIU. So what did it feel like to get a couple games under your belt, get a bye week, and then now you roll right into conference play?
Javon?
I would say it definitely, kind of restarted that fire underneath us. Having this extended break, it could be, good and bad, but I feel like we've used our time to our advantage. Obviously we flushed Notre Dame, and we looked ahead to our next opponent. So I feel like we use our time, to the best of our ability in that manner, and I feel like all the guys are fired up, offense and defense, to get back out there and show that we are prepared to, come in on Saturday after, a long break.
Nate?
It was a great bye week for us. I think, especially obviously a physical game against Notre Dame, it helped us get our bodies back, especially for the guys that played a lot of snaps. So coming back from a bye week, got back to practice with the good on good, with the ones on offense and the ones on defense. So it just helped us get back to normal kind of like fall camp practices. So I think we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I'd agree with all those guys. I think the biggest aspect was to mentally come back down to where we have to be. It's hard. You beat a top 5 team. There's a lot of noise, a lot of outside people coming in wanting to, do interviews, do this and that. And that's all great stuff. But, having that extra week to come back down to, where we need to be, refocus ourselves on Buffalo, I think that was the biggest advantage for this bye week.
This one will be for all 3 of you. So it's not even 2 weeks since you went to the packed crowd at Notre Dame, and now coming home. What would it mean if you guys have a filled stadium, or even more so a sellout crowd on Saturday?
Yeah, that's everything to us. We haven't had that here since all of us. So we haven't had that since all of us have been here. So to see the school rallying around us and being able to represent them in the way we have, that means everything to us as players. And seeing the fans at the game cheering us on, being loud on third downs and big moments in the game, that's a huge momentum builder and a huge home field advantage. So going into the weekend with, probably going to get more people than we have in the past, I know it's going to fire our guys up, and it's going to be new, and it's going to be something, that we're really happy with and we hope stays consistent.
Nate?
Yeah, it will be a blessing for us as a football team, especially for the Husky community to all come out on Saturday, especially for defense. Now, we don't really get, away games, the third downs for defense not as loud as, being at home. So having a home game and with the defense on third downs would be great for us. So.
Yeah.
And I think it'll benefit us as a team, just, want us to, it will make us play just that much harder, getting a packed crowd, a sold out crowd, well, however close to the sold out it may be, just getting that audience and that energy will just, we'll feed off of that, and we'll want to put our best foot forward even more so because of, the high crowd.
I don't know if easy is the right word to use, but coming off 2 wins like that and going into sort of a self-scouting mode during that bye week, how easy would it be to stay critical, or how easy is it to stay critical knowing that you still have a full season left to go, that there's still things to work on? That's for everyone.
Obviously, last week doesn't really matter for us. It was a great accomplishment for us, but obviously this week's the biggest game for us, especially since it's the first MAC game for us. So obviously, it would be great for us to become 1-0 in the MAC conference.
I agree with Nate. We're on to the next week, and I think it's the personality of this team. That we respond well, and good or bad times, we're gonna get back to our training and our baseline of what we know how to do.
Just for all three, after last season, how hard was, I'm just wondering, how hard were schools coming after you guys to get into the transfer portal? And if so, what was the impetus to stay, and what was the selling point there?
Who wants to take that?
Yeah, really wasn't a thing for me, honestly. I've been a back with the past 3 years, so I didn't have any schools come after me. But these guys are, starters here, so they're probably better suited for the question.
That wasn't really on my mind, crossing my mind at all. Obviously, I've been here for the past 4 years, so I took my time to grow and develop as a player here, and I got my chance to start last year. So I wouldn't have just left. So I wanted to do another year here, and obviously try to get another MAC championship here.
Javon?
And Nate mentioned the word develop. That's what Hammock always, harping on. This is a developmental program, and I have been here for all 4 years. And when those talks came up, I would just focus on, being better the next season. And that's all, us as players can do. We just focus on the next season. We all came up in this program. We all, got, like what they say, blood in the bricks. So it's like, I got to come back and, finish what we started. And, I feel like we're in that upward trend, so.
Yeah, I think as well, that's a testament to what we built here. It's not super common. You have 30 or whatever, we have 25 seniors who've been here for 4 years, especially in this new age of NIL, college football. It's really easy to jump ship for, some money, or for, you're now playing at a bigger name school. But it's just a testament to what Coach Ham has built and what all the players before us have built in this culture.
Talk about, Coach Hammock was in here talking about how, obviously with that win, with the Cheez-Its, with the sunglasses all coming in, and he's doing it for you guys. Just talk about what it means personally to play for a guy like Coach Hammock, who's been here and obviously has his heart for the program.
Nate?
Obviously, it shows a lot about Coach Hammock's character as a coach and as a man. So just giving back to us as football players. He's always promised us that if anything that he gets or anybody hits him up, that he'll give back to us. So it just shows the character of a coach for him.
Ethan?
Yeah, I think the fact that Coach Ham played here and has his roots here is something that's helped our program a ton. The trust we have in Coach Ham and the confidence we have in him to lead us is stronger now than it ever has been. So when you have a coach who's been in a lot of the same spots you've been in, obviously we didn't have this building, but played on the same field and goes through a lot of the same situations as you, it makes him very personable and relatable, and that's one of Coach Ham's biggest strengths in my opinion. So he wants to be here, and in turn it makes us want to play for him.
Javon?
And since I've been here, Coach Hammond has always been the same person. He always talk about building relationships, and that's what he's done since like my freshman year. So, that just goes to show, like what Nate said, the type of man he is, the type of coach he is. He always harps on being the same guy every day, and that's him. So I feel like it all comes for a circle. We pay him in hard work, and he says he'll take care of us, and he has never let us down in that sense. So.
This one's for the defensive guys. So when Hammock was in here, he started about Buffalo's quarterback, CJ Bana. He's a dual threat. He's only had 2 starts at Buffalo, but he has experience in the FCS. What are some things you can kind of take advantage there come Saturday for the quarterback?
Javon?
Yeah, we have looked at the film. We have seen that he's a dual threat quarterback. He does have the potential to throw 50-50 balls as well. So just going back to basics, just everybody doing their job. From D-line to linebackers to us as DBs, we have to, stay locked in coverage. Just in case he scramble drill, we got to plaster our receivers to eliminate those big broken plays. And then we have the opportunity to, get him on the ground behind the line of scrimmage. We need to do that as well. So just kind of going in with a plan. We have a good plan coming up, and that's really all we can do is execute the plan that the defensive coaches have given us, and I feel real confident in that plan.
Nate?
Yeah, I mean, like what Burr said, he's a great quarterback. He can, he can create space when he's on the run. I think he can create plays when he's outside the pocket. So, just like Burr said, keeping maintaining the technique that we have, and everybody's doing their 111th. Everyone just do their job. So,
Ethan, you had the most experience here at NIU coming into this season, yet the coaches did not just hand you the job after last season, put you in that quarterback competition. Do you look at that now as a blessing? Did that off-season of competition help bring out the best in you and sharpen you?
Absolutely. And honestly, if they would have just handed me position, that I wouldn't want that. I want what's best for this team. So if there's a quarterback better than me, and he would have won the job, then I knew I did everything, I could have, and it just wasn't good enough. But, I've had the confidence I'm the best quarterback here, this whole year, and I've carried myself that way. And, bringing in guys is what they have to do. It's their job. They're trying to get the team better. So in no way did I think it was a personal shot. It's just what we had to do as a team. And then obviously, I embraced the competition and, took the bull by the horns.
One for Javon and Nate. You guys got here in 2021, but in 2020, you're being recruited by NIU, and they're in the middle of a winless season. I'm wondering just how that might have weighed on your minds and what was selling you on coming to NIU then.
I can start. I was actually at South Dakota 2020. I did get recruited by Hammock though out of high school. I ended up going to South Dakota, but so me and Hammock already had a great relationship before that. So obviously I seen they had an 0-6 season 2020. I didn't really think too much about it. I thought he was a great guy. I know one thing when I first met him that was his character about him. So I think just after that 0-6 season, I know that he was a guy that I wanted to play for. He told me that there's a program that will be successful in a couple years. So just trusted him, and obviously he came to NIU.
Javon?
So again, I'll go back to the word relationship. My family has a great relationship with Hammock as well, even from back when I was in high school. Some of the coaches came up to my high school. I came up here more times than I can count. And it was just a great experience from the coaching staff, from Hammock. Every time he was interacting with my parents, interacting with me, picking my brain about things, and just building a relationship. And that kind of laid the foundation for, me to come here and play for NIU and for Coach Hammock because of those relationships. About me, family is a big thing. So that was kind of a holistic decision. And I feel like it came, full circle, and here we are now.